Hello and welcome to the Nintendo News Network. Pokemon is one of Nintendo's biggest IPs, each game in the main series selling millions of copies worldwide, and even the side games faring very well. But as the series gets older, the question will always come up, which game is the best and which game is the worst? We are into the 7th generation of the Pokemon games, and this question has been asked for a long time now. But is there actually a valid worst game in the main Pokemon series of games? Personally, I think so, and I think that title belongs to Pokemon Sun and Moon. Now, before I continue, this is all opinion based from myself and what I have seen and felt from this generation that's been presented from Game Freak and Nintendo. If you love Sun and Moon, good for you. There is no real right or wrong answer to the question, but these are just reasons I feel that they don't stand shoulder to shoulder with the past 6 main series games. So let's dive in with the start of the generation. Pokemon Sun and Moon came out in November of 2016. 2016 was a year of highs and lows for Nintendo. Highs included the 20th anniversary of Pokemon, and they went crazy for it. From the TCG getting a set of cards from the original set, Pokemon Go being released, to the Aloha forums being only Generation 1. 2016 was the year of Pokemon for sure. But try as they might, it couldn't compare to the year of Luigi. So what better way to celebrate than a new main series Pokemon game as well? It seemed perfect. A bit too perfect. Let's look at the rest of Nintendo for 2016. The Switch, known as the NX for most of the year, was being pushed back until 2017. The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild was being pushed back with it. E3 was about 98% Breath of the Wild. Nintendo just didn't have much luck for the Wii U. All they had was Paper Mario Color Splash for the holiday season. What better way to fill a gap than Pokemon Sun and Moon? But after completing the game, it felt like it was rushed. The start of the game was really strong, I felt, but once you got to the 3rd island, well, you were stopped before heading off to Aether Paradise to complete a trial battle. Yeah, that could have waited. And then you're pushed along the trial just to find the 4th island has no captain, but it just so happens they become the captain when you get there? Okay, Professor, what would have happened if I did this whole thing a week faster and she didn't become a captain yet? Just run around and train my Pokemon? Okay, yes, but that's not the point I'm going for. The point is, the story just felt rushed. It felt they were writing the story and then word came from top that they were needing to get it out by the end of 2016. They had to put some key points in the story, but other things just felt forced, confused, and a bit dumb. And that is what happens to something that's rushed. Again, I have no proof of a rushed product, it just feels like it was presented that way. I did really enjoy some things about the game though. Most of the Pokemon I liked, and some Aloha forms. I just wish they diversified it away from Generation 1, but that's for another discussion. I think eliminating the HMs for the Ride Pokemon was one of the greatest ideas the game had going for it. I like the idea of facing off with different rivals each time you fought the Elite Four, but the overall story and the Ultra Beast didn't resonate with me as a huge fan of the franchise, someone who's been with Pokemon since Red and Blue. Now fast forward to November of 2017, we get Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. Yeah, let's talk about this game. It was a retelling of Sun and Moon. But why do I need a retelling of the events of a game that is basically a year old? What's that? The 3DS's lifespan is coming to an end and it's easy to make a game with the same basic premise and the same assets in less than a year to make a nice buck? Oh, okay, makes sense. But as sarcastic as I was, it does make sense. They didn't have to create a new story like in Black and White 2. Change a few things, take a legendary from the first game, give it a little bit of a backstory, or make him evil. But did they have to use Team Rainbow Rocket for this? I mean, that could have been the main evil faction of its own game, not some attempt to use nostalgia, or the ability to catch tons of legendary Pokemon. Joke's on us, they are giving them away most of this year in the year of Legendary now. It is nice for players, especially younger, who have not grown up with these games and need a legit legendary, but they made it a big deal about it, even making it a selling point. And the story elements they changed didn't seem to sit well with most fans. I think they would have had a better reception just porting Sun and Moon to Switch. A lot of it felt like the scraps of the first game that had to be cut. I don't want to say Sun and Moon is a bad generation. Being the worst in a group of awesome is still something special. I just think Sun and Moon was rushed to meet an anniversary. to fill a void Nintendo was going to have in the winter of 2016. I feel Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon was made to make one last money grab for the 3DS. Yes, this has kind of been disproven as Nintendo has just released that they want to keep supporting the 3DS through 2019 and beyond, but still. These are not good things for a game. Early on in my adventure in Moon, I saw a lot of potential though. Team Skull could have been a bit deeper than they ended up being. And with Aether being evilish, you could have had a great don't judge a book by its cover and have Team Skull end up being allies against Aether. And not just have Guzma be another lackey basically. Have more than just Generation 1 Pokemon get Alola forms. I saw potential, I saw a glimmer of greatness, but in the end, it fell flat. Also, what was with you could get a Grubbin really early, but couldn't get Vikavolt until the end of the game? That's just bad design, people. I know they fixed it in Ultra, but still. But I digress. If I had to look at all 7 generations, Sun and Moon would be at the bottom. The game had a lot going for it, but just couldn't climb the mountain before it in my eyes. Perhaps it played it too safe, or perhaps it really was rushed, and my theory was true. We probably will never know. I know plenty of people who enjoy this generation, there's nothing wrong with that. But for me, it just wasn't up for par. My hope is when Generation 8 comes out for the Switch, they have to give it the time it deserves. I'd rather have a great product later than an okay product now. Even if that means we don't get Pokemon for Switch until 2019. Thank you for listening to a Nintendo News Network editorial. This was a little bit lengthy, but thank you for sticking it out to the end. But I do want to know, what is your favorite generation of Pokemon? Do you like Sun and Moon? And even, who is your favorite Pokemon? If you feel like I deserve it, please don't forget to subscribe and like us on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Now, if you will excuse me, I think I might want to be a master of Pokemon. But do I have the skills to be number 1? Can I take the ultimate step and have courage to be bold? Risking it all? But I better not forget the lessons that I hold.